5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Main engine ignition and liftoff of the Atlas V rocket with LRO Alacross, America's first step in a lasting return to the moon.
And we have the pitch program in. Plus battery voltage is
this booster stage that you see burning right now is powered by liquid oxygen and kerosene. It's a high-grade kerosene called RP1, Rocket Propellant 1, and it will burn for approximately 4 minutes. As we use up the fuel in that stage, we'll shut down the engines, and then we'll separate that booster stage from the second stage, what we call our Centaur upper stage. Centaur will then begin the first of 2 burns. Shortly after it ignites the first time, we'll jettison the payload fairing since we're up above most of the atmosphere and the spacecraft no longer need to be protected. This first 10-minute burn, I think we are doing things on this mission that a launch vehicle has never tried to do before in space. Another thing that makes this mission very interesting for us is it's actually a return to our roots, if you will. Centaur was actually designed for lunar and planetary missions in the 1960s, and Centaur launched the 7 Surveyor missions in the late 60s that paved the way for Apollo. This will actually be Centaur's 9th mission to the moon, but the first one in 41 years.
We have LOX and fuel pre-start. Chain 2 purge firing is underway. We have ignition and full throttle. We have payload fairing jettison. 2 good brake wires and good visual indication of payload. All Centaur systems look stable at this point in the flight. RL-10 continues.
After launch, LRO will perform a lunar orbit insertion maneuver, beginning a 60-day period of commissioning. During this time, LRO will perform instrument checks toward the impact site. It performs a short burn to slow itself down to follow 4 minutes behind the Centaur. As the Centaur impacts the surface at about 5,600 miles an hour, about 350 metric tons of material are excavated, kicking the regolith out of the crater floor and into the sunlight. Following 4 minutes behind, Alcross uses its suite of 9 cameras, spectrometers, and sensors to search for a definitive answer to the question of whether there is water on the moon. Alcross relays its data directly back to Earth in real time. There is no onboard storage, since 4 minutes later, Alcross itself impacts the surface, creating a second plume. After the impact, LRO will observe the new craters of the Centaur and Alcross, gathering additional information about the geological makeup of the lunar surface.